All rights to the characters and storyline of Fruits Basket belong solely to its creators and copyright holders. This text is a fan-created interpretation and does not claim any ownership or official affiliation with creators or distributors of Fruits Basket. All references to the characters in the development are based on the original work and are intended solely for entertainment and discussion purposes. In a Daze, Chapter 5. When Kyo and Tohru woke up from their nap, Kyo carefully helped Tohru into his oversized sweatshirt, the familiar scent of him offering her comfort. He then bundled her up with blankets and handed her a steaming cup of tea. Tohru settled onto the couch, watching something on TV, while Kyo headed to the kitchen to make soup for lunch. Kyo hummed softly to himself as he chopped vegetables, the rhythmic sound of the knife against the cutting board filling the room. The comforting aroma of onions and garlic sizzling in a pot began to waft through the apartment, blending with the warmth of the heater battling the cold outside. Just as Kyo started adding the chopped vegetables to the pot, the phone rang. He glanced over at Tohru, who snuggled up in the blanket with her eyes on the TV, and said, "I've got it." He wiped his hands on the towel and answered the phone. "Hello?" Kyo said, a look of confusion quickly crossing his face. "Oh, hey. Is everything okay?" Tohru turned her attention from the TV to Kyo, curious about the call. She watched as his expression changed from confusion to something more serious. "I'm fine," he said into the phone, a hint of worry creeping into his voice. He listened intently before responding. "I stayed home today because Tohru's sick." Kyo glanced over at Tohru, who had stood up from the couch. She walked over to him, gripping her mug for warmth, her eyes full of concern. She noticed Kyo's face going pale as he continued listening to the person on the other end of the line. "Really? That's awful," Kyo said, his voice shaking slightly. "Thanks for letting me know." He hung up the phone, his hand trembling slightly as he set it down. Tohru, worry etched on her face, asked, "Who is that, Kyo?" Kyo looked at her, his eyes filled with a mixture of fear and relief. "Someone from work. They were checking to see if I was okay, because someone got hit by a car on the route I'd take to work. It happened around the exact time I would have been passing by. If I hadn't stayed home, there's a good chance I would have been the one hit." Tohru's grip on her mug faltered, and it slipped from her hands, shattering onto the floor. She fell to her knees, sobbing uncontrollably. Kyo immediately dropped down beside her, pulling her into his arms. He held her tightly as she cried, her body shaking with each sob. He didn't know what to believe, but he couldn't ignore the significance of Tohru's desperate plea for him to stay home, in the strange dream she had. When her sobs finally began to subside, Kyo gently lifted her chin and kissed her forehead. "Everything's going to be okay," he whispered, his voice steady and reassuring. "I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere." Tohru clung to him, her breathing gradually calming. Kyo wrapped his arms around her even tighter, holding her as if he would never let her go. The room was silent except for the sound of their breathing and the soft hum of the TV in the background. At that moment, Kyo realized just how close he had come to losing everything. He vowed never to take a single day with Tohru for granted. He held her close, feeling the warmth of her body against his, and he knew that no matter what happened, they would face it together. With Kyo and Tohru wrapped in each other's arms, a sense of profound relief and gratitude filled the room. They had been given a second chance, and they were determined to make the most of every precious moment they had together. Hi, my name is Angel, and I hope you liked this. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. If you want to hear more, check out my website, or if you want my books in an easier-to-read format, check out my Wattpad. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!